Grenfell Tower is a derelict 24-story residential tower block in North Kensington in London, England, the remains of which are still standing following a severe fire in June 2017. The tower was completed in 1974 as part of the first phase of the Lancaster West estate. The tower was named after Grenfell Road, which ran to the south of the building. The road itself was named after Field Marshal Lord Grenfell, a senior British Army officer. The building's top 20 stories consisted of 120 flats, with 6 per floor, 2 flats with 1 bedroom each and 4 flats with 2 bedrooms each, with a total of 200 bedrooms. Its first 4 stories were non-residential until its most recent refurbishment, from 2015 to 2016, when 2 of them were converted to residential use, bringing it up to 127 flats and 227 bedrooms. 6 of the new flats had 4 bedrooms each and 1 flat had 3 bedrooms. It also received new windows and new cladding with thermal insulation during this refurbishment. Prior to a fire, which began in the early hours of the 14th of June 2017, the Royal Borough of Kensington and Chelsea and central UK government bodies knew, or ought to have known, that their management of the tower was breaching the rights to life and to adequate housing of the tower's residents, according to a later inquiry by the UK Equality and Human Rights Commission. The fire gutted the building and killed 72 people, including a stillbirth. In early 2018, it was announced that, following demolition of the tower, the site will likely become a memorial to those killed in the fire. In 2020, survivors of Grenfell Tower fire stated that nothing has changed 3 years after the event took place. Those who escaped describe feeling left behind and disgusted by a lack of progress in making similar buildings safe. The 24-story tower block was designed in 1967 in the brutalist style of the era by Clifford Werden and Associates, with the Kensington and Chelsea London Borough Council approving its construction in 1970. As part of Phase 1 of the Lancaster West redevelopment project. The 67.3 meters tall building contained 121 and 2-bedroom flats. The floors were named ground, mezzanine, walkway and walkway plus 1, floor 1, floor 2 etc. It housed up to 600 people. The tower was built to the Parker Morris standards. Each floor was 22 meters square, giving an approximate usable area of 476 square meters. The building was innovative, as most LCC tower blocks use traditional brickwork for infill, whereas here precast insulated concrete blocks were used, giving the walls an unusual texture. The 10 exterior concrete columns were also unusual. In addition, other tower blocks of this era had 4 flats per story, rather than 6. The original lead architect for the building, Nigel Whitbread, said in 2016 in an interview with Constantine Gra, which was later partially repeated in The Guardian, that the tower had been designed with attention to strength, following the Ronan Point collapse of 1968, and from what I can see could last another 100 years. He described it as a very simple and straightforward concept. You have a central core containing the lift, staircase and the vertical rises for the services, and then you have external perimeter columns. The services are connected to the central boiler and pump which powered the whole development, and this is located in the basement of the tower block. This basement is approximately 4 meters deep and in addition has 2 meters of concrete at its base. This foundation holds up the tower block, and in situ concrete columns and slabs and precast beams all tie the building together. Construction, by contractors A. A. Symes, of Leighton, London, commenced in 1972, with the building being completed in 1974. Before construction, the plans at basement level were changed from the original brief to accommodate the need for extra car parking. In the early 1990s, access to the building was restricted through the use of key fobs, and lift access to the first 4 stories was discontinued. The building was renovated in 2015-16. When the building opened in 1974, it was nicknamed the Moroccan Tower, because many renters came from the local Moroccan immigrant community. In recent years, Some residents had become leaseholders, mostly under the right to buy scheme. 14 flats in the tower, and 3 in Grenfell Walk, were leaseholder owned at the time of the 2017 fire. The renovation was part of a project to utilize the area around Lancaster Green and curtail global warming with an insulating cladding applied to the fireproof building. A new leisure centre had already been built to the east of the green, and the all-weather football pitches to the north of the tower were destined to become Kensington Academy. The renovation aimed to replace the substandard heating system, replace the windows, increase the thermal efficiency of the tower and improve appearance of the tower in the style of the Academy. It aimed to reconf